Hey groovy guys and ghouls, welcome back once again to the Mask Fan Attic, where we look for cool and interesting masks and related collectibles like this monstrosity right here. What is it? The Wasp Woman. That's right, the Wasp Woman. As seen in a 1959 Roger Corman movie called, don't get ahead of me now, The Wasp Woman. Okay, now in the story, the character played by actress Susan Cabot takes an experimental formula of wasp enzymes and royal jelly and so forth, wasp-related substances, and it turns her into, well, the sort of wasp equivalent to a werewolf. Only instead of a werewolf, she turns into this, the Wasp Woman. Now, the movie is very dark. In the scenes where they show her, you don't really get a good look at her. It's very shadowed. She's creeping back in the shadows. You just get a vague look at it. And it is to the credit of Wasp Woman mask sculptor Carol Hicks, who did this thing much later, 1996 in fact. It is to Carol's credit that everything you can see in the movie is captured in the sculpture. You can't see much, but everything you can see, she got it in here. Okay, now again, this was sculpted by Carol in '96. Did I mention Carol Hicks is, for those of you who don't know, Carol is Laura's sister, my wife, Laura Lady. Her big sister, Carol Hicks. Okay, I'm going to change that to older sister, because when I say big sister, it sounds like big, and Laura's actually taller than Carol. So, yeah. Anyway, the Wasp Woman has these big buggy eyes, as befitting a member of the wasp and hornet and bee families, I should think. And oddly enough, she bites people with these two big fangs in the movie. Now, it doesn't really make a lot of sense that a wasp person would bite with two fangs, because, you know, wasps don't have two big fangs like that. It's more like a vampire, you know, or a snake almost. But I guess they thought it wouldn't have made as good a villain for the movie if they would have made her a little more waspy and had her attack people with a stinger on her butt. That would have been the way to go, I think, except then she would have had to go around and, like, when she attacks a victim, she'd have to kind of back into him, you know, kind of back her stinger into. We would have had a twerking monster in the movies. Think of that. No, don't think of that. Anyway, the Wasp Woman here was anybody's guess in terms of color. You don't know what color it's supposed to be. It's a black and white movie. Maybe she was brown, maybe she was green. She's just dark. So I'm the one who came up with this particular color scheme. So if you hate it, blame me. That's right. I thought this metallic purpley blue over black would be cool and would look kind of buggy, kind of bug-like, kind of bugular, kind of insectoid. Yes, that's the word. I thought that would have a good look. And the eyes, I just did them like kind of a creepy, fleshy pink and red with some silver in there. And then the fangs. Again, in the dark, you don't get a real good look at the face, but you can see she's got these big eyes with multiple lenses, I guess you'd call them. These bumps out of which she sees. And she's got an oddly big nose. For a female character, really, a big schnoz like that, if I'd been designing a female monster, I wouldn't have given her that big of a nose, because that looks, you know, that looks more masculine to me, to have a big nose, and less feminine. Then again, they didn't ask me to design it, because I would have given her a butt with a stinger on it, and they wouldn't have probably listened to me there. So why would they listen to me about the nose, right? Anyway, very cool thing here. 20 of these were made, and that's it. You might think there wouldn't be 20 people who would have been interested in a female public domain movie silly monster like this, but it was pretty popular at the time. 20 of them made in 1996, haired by Laura, and these things, these antennae, are just basically wire covered with some fun fur, you know, wrapped around, and like a little sleeve made of fun fur, and then the wire in it. So you can position these to some extent. Position these however you like, bend them a little. But what a great monster. And strangely enough, a friend of mine who ran a haunted house with a horror museum had a display of masks, an exhibit, a big room of monster heads and busts and masks. And oddly enough, somebody stole his Wasp Woman some years ago. What are the odds? You would think if somebody was going to steal a head from a horror museum, it would be a really popular character, like, you know, Freddy Krueger or Frankenstein or somebody that everyone knows. the one they stole was the Wasp Woman? Really? Must be more popular than we knew. So who knows? Maybe there's a lot of buzz about the Wasp Woman out there. Look out for those big, scary fangs. And we'll see you next week in the attic.